I welcome you into this discussion today. I know it's so hard to say that in a recorded podcast episode that I'm recording and you have to download it and listen to it. Although I'd love to have the opportunity to speak to you live, which hopefully that comes soon, where we can have a phone call, a conference, a workshop together. But of course, a man can dream. So one day I'll have you on my calendar, I'll be on your schedule, we can have a live discussion, and we can chop it up about what I'm talking about in these podcasts and what I put in the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence, and whatever you might find of worthy of a conversation on the website, 820podcast.com, where we can even have more insight into this guy you're listening to on his podcast, and maybe some questions or pointers you can share with me about how to make the intention and the philosophy, the book itself, the workbook, and these podcasts the best they can be. By the way, the topic of this discussion today is called The Best Thing You Have Ever Done. So take a moment to think about that and ask yourself that question. What is the best thing you've ever done? I'm going to take a leap here, an assumption, a guess. I'm going to presume that you probably were thinking about the best thing you've ever done or somewhere in your past. Pardon me for making another assumption. I'm pretty sure the best thing you've ever done is not tomorrow or next week or next year. Yes? How about this? I'm going to give you a spoiler alert on that topic for today. The best thing you've ever done is in this moment. I know you're probably thinking the best moment of everything I've done is listen to this guy. I have no idea who he is, and this is the best moment. I say that not to trigger you or get you upset, or hopefully you don't turn off this podcast. I'm trying to ask you to get out of the comparison and competition mode, and definitely not into the better mode. Just consider this. I know it's probably a bit alarming to this guy you haven't met yet, but this is it. This moment is the best you've ever done. How about this? I'll state it a different way. This is the best you can do right now. Not because of me, because of you and where you are right now. Also, the follow-up question that I'm going to pose to you is, if you are resisting that proposition about this is the best you can have ever done, and this is the best you can do right now, an additional question: how can this be any more best? How can you get any more best than what you have right now? Just really take a breath, step back from that statement and that question. If I'm proposing to you that this moment in your life is your best right now, could you have any more of your best? Certainly, you cannot compare your best of this moment to the fantasy of tomorrow's best of you. And similarly, how can you accurately compare and contrast this best of this moment of you right now to your best 10, 20, 30 years ago? We're kind of talking about apples to oranges, of you today to you of before. And certainly, we can't compare you today to you maybe tomorrow. Why would you want to antagonize yourself like that? Hey, it's worse to compare and contrast you to anyone else. Certainly, if I do that, I'm going to pale in comparison to someone more fit than me, who has better hair than I do, has less gray than I do, even has more money or more intelligence. But why do that to ourselves? To get into the game of comparison and competition. Whatever you use for those metrics, the richer, taller, smarter, whatever person that becomes your reference for progress. Does it also become your reference for love, harmony, health, and success? Again, why do that to yourself? Even if that person you're comparing yourself to is your dad or brother or uncle or cousin or colleague, how can you genuinely contrast and compare and compete with the cards you have, your hand, against the cards they have that you can't assess what cards they have or even peek at? I'm asking you to get yourself out of this game and the game of comparing yourself to yourself and to others. How about you check in with your real team? You and the power and force, the one that brought you to the dance, this dance called life. Do you want to compare yourself to your creator? Whatever you call it? I don't think you want to do that. Maybe you can just simply listen and learn and ask those genuine, original questions without any expectation for an answer. If you refer to the previous 820 episodes, you'll understand that this metric of courageous, curious questions about your drive, your desire, and your beauty, those questions contains your answer. You are right now, in this moment, the best you can ever know and understand. You are not done. You are still living. You are still perfect, complete, and in the process of completing. Enjoy your best each time you take the time to construct it, to produce it, to present it. Yes, first to yourself and then to others. Remember that presentation first is not the selfish way to do it to yourself. You're presenting it for, maybe lack of a better term, validation by your creator. However you call your higher power, you do want to show you to you in that mirror, you to you and your meditation, your meditation, your prayer. However you communicate with your higher power, you want to present your best right then and there. That's what we do every day, every moment. And these past 500 seconds, this is your best. Thank you once again. Stay present. Stay current. It is always 820.